Good morning, students. Today I am going to revise chapter number 1, Environment from Geography. So, my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation about the environment is very important for the survival of human being. But first of all, we have to understand what is environment. So, students, all the things, all the materials, everything, whatever is spread around us, that is all together makes environment. Or in another language, we can say that place, people, things, and nature that surround all the living organisms is called environment. And environment makes with the combination of natural and human-made phenomena. So students, as I told you that all the things whatever surround us, like physical material, natural material, all these things. So natural material or natural environment refers to biotic and abiotic environment. It means the word biotic stands for all living organisms like plants and animals. And the word abiotic stands for the all types of non-living elements like land, like mountains, like plateaus and buildings, etc. etc. So students, as you know very well that all the things surround us everywhere, and all these things together makes an environment. So in this way, the definition of environment is the place, people, things and nature that surround us is called environment. So students, in this environment, human being doing different type of activities, they are creating different types of materials, and they are making or constructing house, land, bridge, and they are making different types of materials with the help of environment to complete their needs and requirement. After that, your next topic is components of environment. So, component of environment is classified into 3 categories, in which number 1 is natural environment, number 2 is human-made environment, and number 3 is human environment. First of all, we have to clear and understand what is natural environment. So, students, land is a natural, water is natural, air is natural, plants and animals and human beings all are natural things. So students, land, water, air, plants and animals comprises the natural environment. And this natural environment consisting lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So all these 4, lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere, are the parts of natural environment. So my dear students, first of all we have to understand what is lithosphere. So the definition of lithosphere is all the solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth. The definition of lithosphere is the solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth, which is made up by the different type of the combination of rocks and minerals and covers by a thin layer of soil. This is lithosphere. And students, lithosphere is very uneven, irregular surface, and lithosphere having different kinds of landforms on it, like mountains, plateaus, plains and valleys. And these landforms or lithosphere also having different types of natural environment like forest, grasslands, grazing land, and human being also doing agriculture activity on the lithosphere. And human being also constructed their house on lithosphere to live it. Okay. After that, second is hydrosphere. So students, the word hydrosphere is a stand for all the water bodies. In another language, we can define it the domain of water, like water bodies, all the rivers, lakes, seas, oceans referred as a hydrosphere. And hydrosphere is very important for the survival of all the living organisms. Okay. After that, next one is atmosphere. So my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation that atmosphere is very, very important for the survival of human being. And the definition of atmosphere is a thin layer of air that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. And due to the presence of gravitational force in the earth holds the atmosphere around it. Atmosphere is also very important for us because it protects us from the harmful sun rays and also dangerous direct sun's heat. It is working as a strainers and only fine sun rays and different types of energy coming on the surface of the earth, because as I told you, atmosphere work as a strainer. And students, this atmosphere made up of different type of gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, argon, and different other gases, and also with some dust and water vapor. And students, this atmosphere is responsible for the changing of weather and climatic condition. Okay. After that, your next point is biosphere. So students, as well as like lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, biosphere is also very, very important part of the natural environment. And the definition of biosphere is plant and animal kingdom together make biosphere, or the living world where everyone can survive. And it is a very narrow zone of the earth where land, water and air interact with each other to support life. It means in another language we can say that all kind of plants and animals together make biosphere. It is a very narrow green area where all kind of water bodies and air and land together working and making an environment for the survival of the human life. Okay. After that, your next point is human made environment. So students, the definition of human made environment is when human being making building parks, bridge, roads, monuments, industries or anything for the smooth functioning of their life or for the to complete needs and requirement is known as human made environment. For example, human made different types of buildings to live there, parks for enjoying, for walking, for morning walk, and bridges also made by human being in which we can use to go from one area to another area. Roads are also made by human being to complete their journey or to move from one area to another area. Different types of industries are also made by human being to do work, and different types of monuments also made by the human being. So in another language, we can say that building, park, bridge, road, monuments, and industries are all made by human beings. And this construction used by people to live there and to complete their needs and requirement. For example, if building is made by the human being, then in those big building a number of people are living and creating an environment. So this is an example of human made environment. All right, after that, human environment. So student, as I told you, where human being is living, where this is no matter anyone is living individually or people living in a group or people living in a neighborhood or people collecting in different types of religious places or students meeting together in schools or number of person every day meeting in marketplace or any political institution. So there they are making human environment. Or in another language, we can say, or the definition of human environment is human being interact with the environment and changing all the natural material in another most important and usable products to complete their needs and requirement is known as human environment. For example, very early human history, human lived on the branches of trees and live in caves and moving always here and there in search of food and fodder. But slowly, human being learned to settle down in a one place, and slowly he learned to cook food, etc. So students, on the going days and going era, human being also learn to do agriculture activity, and to complete the whole cycle of agriculture activity they had to live in one place. In this way, settlements or houses made by the group of people in one place, and whenever settlements settle down in one place and the population of human beings started to increase, so there they had made a human environment. So students, in this way we can understand the definition of human environment. So students, now next important point is ecosystem. What is ecosystem? So students, all plants, animal and human being living together, and they are all dependent on each other to complete their needs and requirement. Like plants eaten by animals, and some animals are also eaten by human. In this way they are making relation with each other for the survival, and the relation between the living organism and surrounding is form an ecosystem. Like ecosystem can be a large rainforest, grassland, a desert. For example, in desert you can see different type of ecosystem like camels, frogs, lizard, snakes, and no rainfall or very less rainfall, or rivers maybe sometime they are appearing only during the rainy season, and palm trees and oases. So desert makes a different types of ecosystem, and in forest you can see a very dense forest, different types of small and long trees, grasses and snakes and flies and spiders and number of animals which are living in forest and creating a different type of an ecosystem. So students, in ocean you can see a different type of an ecosystem, where you can see in the oceans salty water and all the fish and living organisms which can survive in the salty water, different types of algae and different types of plants only which can grow in the ocean. So ocean can create different type of ecosystem, desert can create different type of ecosystem, and forest can create different type of system. In another language we can define ecosystem, that is, ecosystem is a system which are formed by the interaction of all living organisms with each other with the help of physical and chemical factor of the environment in which they live. And all are living with the help of each other or with the help of transfer of energy and material. So students, many points are given in your book, like in which month of year the World Environment Day is celebrated. So students, on 5 June every year the World Environment Day is celebrated. Another question is, what is barter system? So barter system is a kind of trade in which goods are exchanged without the use of money. After that students, you have to prepare all the question answer which are given in exercise. There are 7 questions, and after that give reasons are given. You have to learn and prepare for periodic first. After that you have to practice to draw or make components of environments, or figure number 1.1 and figure number 1.2. So students, in this way your revision of chapter number 1, environment from geography, is completed. And if you have any doubt or confusion, then contact to me. For today's, that's all. Thank you and have a nice day.